Hi, I'm Beth, and I'm the creator of Street Side of the Church Door. And this is a project that has been on my heart and in my head for quite a while. And now here it goes, going to get started. And a lot of the things that I have read, listened to, observed, had conversations around, it seems like the common theme to anything is to just get started. So this is the messy first draft. This is the first one. Don't exactly know how this is all going to turn out over time, but again, it's all about getting started. I could delay starting, which I've done for years, by making sure I have the right lighting, the right makeup, the right outfit, the right backdrop, the shadows, the perfect script, all of those different things that I would define as making something a good start, a perfect start. And in this case, it's going to just be a start. I think about starting as the hardest part of all of it. There's just that like almost cutting vulnerability and uncertainty about like, what is this really going to do, look like, and mean? I also think that I know that I have a tendency of making things just right before I go ahead and do anything with them. So it's a messy first draft. It's like, seems like riding a bicycle, that in order to get anywhere on a bicycle, the key is making movement. The only time to stop a bicycle is to get on or off it. And those are very brief, should be very brief moments. And so this is getting started. This is moving forward. And then over time, I'm sure I'll learn technique and better routes, any other additional gear and equipment. Anyone listening to this or watching this probably really hopes that I had invested some time in that. But I intend that it will get better. But again, it's just about starting. How this is all going to work, I have no idea. I don't know how to record. I don't know the things I need. I don't know how to make the lighting better and the sound quality better. I don't know how to write an outline for something that gets filmed, and then I don't even know how to really post it. I don't think it's going to be that hard, but I don't know how all of this is going to take shape and work out. So you're along for a ride that's very unscripted right now. There are a few things I have a lot more confidence around, and one is the what. When I think about the what about this, like what makes me interested in this, I think sometimes when we're asked what is it that you're interested in doing, there's a tendency to describe what something is by talking about everything that it isn't. I think it takes a lot of discipline and focus to really describe what something is. What this is my response to kind of stopping and looking around the world and seeing that there's a huge mess going on right now. There's a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of things that are falling apart. There's also a lot of things that are falling together. When I think about what this is in response to this nudge that I've had for a long time, that whether it's called purpose, significance, or calling, kind of whatever one might think about that definition around, this is my reaction to that. I think that there's a lot of good that's happening in the world today, and a lot of us need the reminder of what's good. A lot of us need the reminder about who we are, where we've come from. I think there's a tremendous amount of people that are looking for those answers, and some of the answers that I've found, I think will be really interesting to share. With the way a lot of things are going right now, and the conversations that are being had publicly, I think that there are very few voices that are female that are rising to the top of conversations and playlists and I guess just perhaps sources of influence. I also think that there's kind of a gap of wholesome content that's looking for guidance, reassurances, encouragement. A lot of it is just not what I was looking for when I was really interested and needed some content. So there's a little bit about the what. I think we've all heard a lot lately, probably over the last 10 years, about the why. Like, really know your why. Dive into the why. What is the why? And for me, the why is really in response to what I would say is why I'm here. One of the main contributions to why I'm here. I believe that people were created, that there were that things were created, that purpose was created, and then later on form took place. And so I think that the idea of these like little burning sparks that are inside of all of us, that as a little air gets put on them, or a little, the right word, the right motivation, the right encouragement, the right connections, when some of that starts to happen, then I think we have this tendency of like really blowing up what our original intended purpose is. And so I have, and I'm sure we'll refer to it several times over, one of the things that I have learned lately is that when we form partnership and relationship with God, our Creator, and for now you can fill in the blank for whatever that might mean for you, when we fill in that blank with God and the God that I'm interested in introducing through Street Side of the Church Door, things work in reverse. And so, to put that in a really superficial way, when my whole life fell apart, that's when it started to fall together. What I didn't have at that time was really any source, on-demand source. I had great friends, great support network, great family that was there for me when my life was really like on fire and falling apart. But I didn't have this resource that I could kind of connect into and learn from and study with on demand. Sometimes when one's life is falling apart, having help and support at 2 a.m. is really important. And although I did have friends and family that I could have called at that time, I didn't. I didn't because I didn't want to bother them. I didn't because it was 2 a.m. So part of my why is to really start to shed light on some of these themes that I found to work really well for myself. I would say that through life experience and just my own disposition, I tend to be highly resilient and I have withstood a lot of adversity. Not saying that that's any more so or less than anyone else, but in doing that, there's a lot of things that I've learned that I think would be helpful to share. Some of those things that I do want to dive further in future conversations is this concept of the definition around certain words and where they came from, what we've evolved those to be, and therefore some of the meaning that we've lost. And therefore it makes it really hard for us to talk about certain things, just difficult from a vocabulary standpoint. So I think some definition around words is also really intriguing. I further believe that having a really strong sense of identity of where one came from helps someone understand their own identity and therefore find their purpose. There are countless books, podcasts, conferences, seminars, videos about retreats, finding purpose. There's a lot of people out there right now who are searching for significance, who are trying to find purpose, who are looking for answers to the question, like, what's more? I think we've been fed a bill of goods, frankly, about all of these things that we're supposed to go out and do. And then here we hit 40s, 50s, sometimes 30s, and we're like, this dream that was sold to me is falling short. Like, it doesn't quite cut it. graduate high school, go get an education. With that education, get a great job. With that great job, make a lot of money. With that money, take 2 vacations a year. Take your 2 weeks off a year. Get married, have a family, buy the car, buy the house, have the dog. All of those things have left a lot of people falling short of this kind of perfect idea that we were all pitched. So there's a lot of people that are asking the question, like, what now? And I have 60, 70, 50 years ahead of me. I don't want to just keep repeating the same Monday for the rest of those 50, 60, 70 years. So some of the things that I've learned as my life was falling apart, I think are important to share. Who we are as individuals and where we came from the perspective of our Creator, I think are 2 really key contributors that there really isn't a conversation happening around. And so that's a bit of the what. It's a little bit more of the why. Again, I don't know how this is going to work. Clearly, right? You can see the shadows and the flickering candle, but this might be it. Like, it might be a recording once a week when I'm at home or on the road, taking a walk. Might just be the environment that's around me is what gets to kind of entertain in the background. But Street Side of the Church Door is meant to be a place that we ask some really challenging questions with the intent of trying to dive into who we are, why we were created, and our purpose. Some of the things that I learned through the experiences I went through, I think are going to be a valuable contribution to this conversation. So the intent is to do this once a week and to post it, and certainly to get better at it. Thanks for listening.